On a day when the Prime Minister announced the repealing of the 3 farm laws, which have been a reason for farmer protests and political protests across the country, I'm joined by Member of Parliament of Rajya Sabha and Congress leader Dipendra Hooda. Good evening, Dipendra Hooda, and what do you see these backtracking on farm laws, the repeal of the farm laws, as a victory for the Congress or the victory of the farmers?
No, it's not about any political party. It's the victory of farmers. It's the victory of Indian farmers' struggles. The agitation, in my memory and estimation, since independence, this has been one of the longest and largest agitation, which was broadly very much peaceful, and the farmers were very much disciplined in what they did for 1 year. Such a struggle and such an agitation is not an easy accomplishment. So, it's a struggle during which 700 farmers lost their lives, whether various dharnas, Tikri Dharna, Singhu Dharna, Ghazipur Dharna. These are farmers who sacrificed their lives, their bodies were returning to the villages of Haryana, Punjab, Western UP, be it Lakhimpur. Farmers lost their lives, but still, they did not lose their calm and patience. And they stayed on the track of peaceful protest, peaceful agitation. For 1 year, Navika ji, I just left Tikri border. I was there in Tikri border just 5 minutes back before you started talking to me. There, I can share with you the video. Some people who are 86-year-old, 90-year-old, who have been there for one year. They've been sitting there and hoping that their government will listen to their voice one day. So that's what I mean by what I said earlier. This is what the decision of the Prime Minister today and the government today is totally a victory for Indian farmer. It is dedicated to those who have lost their lives. It is dedicated to the struggle of Indian farmer.
Mr. Dipendra Hooda, some people have come out to try and explain this, saying that this announcement of the repeal of the farm laws actually is a statesman-like approach by the Prime Minister. Do you agree with that expression?
Navika ji, how can I agree with that? 700 farmers have lost their lives. If this decision was taken when the agitation started in Parliament, we spoke as opposition and the farmer leaders spoke and they said the farmers are not going to go back home. The Indian farmer is not made of that metal that they are going to just accept a decision by the government. The decision was not right. So had the decision been taken earlier, these 700 families would not have lost their near and dear ones. I visited these homes. इनके घरों में अंधेरा नहीं होता नविका जी अगर ये फैसला पहले हो जाता और that's why I can say to the point that there I durust hai, but to claim any statesmanship in this, I think it's a sad commentary on part of, I pity those who can even make such claims.
Mr. Dipendra Hooda, you're a young politician, you're a young Congress leader, and I want to ask you, Indian farm sector, the Indian agriculture sector is certainly not based on the best practices. We have marginal farmers, we have lack of economic holdings, we have lack of modernization in the manner in which agriculture is done, and we also know that a bulk of our population is dependent on agriculture. These farm laws were also part of the Congress agenda when your manifesto came out. I want to ask you, today, yes, the farm laws have been repealed, the protests hopefully should come to an end, but do you think the agriculture sector and modernization and reforms of the agriculture sector have gone back by many, not just years, possibly decades? And doesn't that worry you?
I don't agree with that at all, Indian agriculture system is unique, Navika ji. Average land holding is just about an acre, and about 50% of Indian population is dependent on agriculture directly, as compared to the West, from where these farm laws and these market-based forces operating in the farm sector. Basically, this has been borrowed from American system and some of the Western European system, where the average farm holding is about 600 acre, and in every case, less than 1% of the population is dependent on agriculture. So in that case, the farmers as a single unit, a farm is a very strong economic unit, which can negotiate with big corporates, which can fight in the judicial system with these big corporates, and there's a level playing field. In Indian system, that's not the case. American system was agriculture system was based on a principle: get big or get out. Either your farm size increases, or you get out of agriculture and you join services or manufacturing sector. In Indian case, we can't say get out. If they get out, where will the farmers go? So that's why what we should do in India is extend what has worked here. What has worked here is the Mandi MSP system of Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP, which has seen that average income of these farmers of these states is 3 times the average income of states like Bihar, who do not have APMC Act at all, who do not have mandis, and who do not have this MSP guarantee system. So I welcome private enterprise in Indian agriculture system also, by the way, but those cannot be just freely allowed to enter. Rules have to be and regulations have to govern them so that the government protects Indian farmers and we have unique solution for our unique agriculture system.
So, Mr. Dipendra Hooda, when the Congress party in its manifesto promised agriculture reforms and to bring in these reforms, were you talking of a different blueprint? Because many people say that the blueprint and the promises made by the Congress are same that have been implemented by the BJP-led government at the center, just like GST. GST was worked upon by the UPA government but implemented by the NDA government.
See, the market reform that the Congress party manifesto talked about is allowing in private enterprise and private business into the mandis, subjecting them to the condition of mandis, not creating 2 different mandis. One for the private companies where there is no tax on the purchaser, and the other from the government mandis where there is a tax on the purchaser, because in the government mandis, mostly the purchasers are FCI, Food Corporation of India, or for example, Punjab, Haryana have their own government-owned marketing companies. So when they purchase, they have to pay some tax. So these private mandis, basically this law envisages that these private mandis, the purchaser, who may be a private business, they will not pay any tax. And they can purchase at any price. The government purchase is bound by MSP. So these 2 are the key things, and that's why we are welcome. If they're the people who say that this will bring prosperity to the farmers, why don't the private companies come to the mandis, the government mandis, and why don't they purchase on MSP or above MSP? If they give above MSP, the farmers will go to them and they will not go to FCI or any other government marketing company and give their grain at a lower price. But there should be a condition, foundation. Who determines MSP? It is not me or you. Government of India itself. This is the minimum support price under which, if you don't give this price, the farmers are going to fall below the poverty line. So this is determined by the government. Let government fairly determine it. And then let government ensure that the private firms are coming to the mandis and at least are paying the MSP. That's the fight.
So, Mr. Dipendra,
that's the reform. That's the reform. That's the reform. That these contracts, the private contracts, we have no problem with the private contracts, but those contracts should be held in these mandis, and the private contracts should be accountable for the MSP. And any contract which is below MSP, that contract should be bound by the provisions of law. And penal action should be taken by those who are having these contracts below the MSP.
So, Mr. Dipendra Hooda, according to you, did the BJP get the economics wrong, or did it get the politics wrong with these farm laws?
In this case, they got both wrong.
And-
because I don't think their advisors, whoever were their advisors or whichever lobbies were working to who during the corona time, had the government bring in ordinance. Such an ordinance was not required, to such an ordinance during the corona time to bring about these widespread changes in the farm sector in India, which is such a crucial sector for this country. So those advisors or the lobbyists did government then the politics, the fact that entire BJP put its political capital behind these and showed such absolute stubbornness. And in fact, I would go beyond that. More than the stubbornness, how insensitive the BJP leaders have been in our states, calling these farmers, all sorts of names, calling them Khalistani, calling them Updravi, calling them funded by abroad, calling them, all sorts of names that they are not real farmers. And in spite of the fact that so many farmers lost their lives, not one BJP MP from our state or minister, chief minister, deputy chief minister, they even visited one family, and at least, if even visiting one family, at least expressed that we are sorry, we don't agree with your demands, all right. But from these dharnas, people are dying. We are sorry somebody has lost their lives. Has one BJP person spoken that Lakhimpur so many farmers lost their lives? We are sorry about that. Because, we are not enemies, Navika. We are farmers. We are equal citizens of this country. We may agree to disagree. You may have one view on certain law. We may have another view on certain law. But if somebody loses life in this country, at least that much kinship we should have for a person with big heart to say, we are sorry that you lost your lives. We don't agree with your demands. So BJP got its economics wrong. BJP got its politics wrong on this matter.
But Dipender Hooda, many would say that ahead of the elections in 5 states, Mr. Modi has taken away from the opposition a cause that could have been your election slogan.
No, see, many would also say that if I were to turn this argument, that BJP has not done it because it's, having any care for so many 700 lives being lost and thousands of farmers, lakhs of farmers still sitting on the dharna. BJP has done it because of these 5 state elections. This is a precise reason why BJP has done it. They are just worried about their, vote shares in these states. They are just worried about their poll prospects, and that's why they have done it.
The BJP has faced elections even before these 5 elections, Assam, West Bengal. They didn't pull out the laws at that time. They've done it now. So why would the elections charge be made against the BJP?
Because, see, there are 2 regions, and both are my neighboring regions, and I'm very well acquainted with those regions, where the elections are coming now, which are the epicenter of this agitation. Assam and West Bengal, this agitation was not as prevalent and with as much fervor as it was in Punjab and Western UP. And, while BJP can almost wrote off Punjab, and seems like they've completely written off Punjab, Western UP, they don't want to write off, because Western UP is where they got most of their seats from last time. If you remember the last UP elections, that's the elections where there was this was the election in the backdrop of Muzaffarnagar riots, and this Western UP belt, which is neighboring to Haryana, voted for BJP in big numbers. All sections, including the farmers from Western UP, I can tell you, for the first time, farmers voted in those big numbers in Western UP. And at the moment, the situation there seems very shaky for BJP. And that's the reason why these 2 states are coming to polls. So one can argue what you have argued. I can argue that they have done it just for their poll prospects, nothing else. They don't care about the farmers.
But what does
nevertheless, those are arguments.
But what does this mean for the Congress party's prospects in these elections in UP and Punjab? Because Congress ने तो अपने आप को politically पंजाब में मारने की बहुत कोशिश की है, जहां आपका बना बनाया खेल था। आपके
पंजाब में
प्रोस्पेक्ट्स का क्या होगा?
पंजाब में we are very confident that Congress is going to come back in Punjab strongly. It is going to be a big victory in Punjab. You will see that. And because we have, as far as the farmer agitation, linking it to that also, while we have worked for all sections, we have, with true honest intent, the Congress party has supported the farmer agitation. Rahul ji went and did a tractor yatra, was part of that, started in Punjab at the time when the farmers had not even moved to the borders of Singhu and Tikri. From that tractor yatra to Lakhimpur Kheri, when I was with Priyanka ji, when we went to Lakhimpur Kheri, when the farmers were crushed by one of the main accused is, as you know, a union minister's son and a cavalcade. So the Congress party has stood with the farmers, and I think in Punjab people realize that, and you will see that in the polls. As far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, we are aware of our limitation in Uttar Pradesh. We don't, but at the same time, you will see a resurgent Congress in the leadership of Priyanka ji. I think while we do not have, we can't claim that in Lucknow Assembly we are the main opposition party, because the numbers would suggest that maybe Samajwadi Party may be. But morally, we have played the part of the main opposition party in Uttar Pradesh, fighting for every section and raising the right voices. And you will see that the people will reward us for that, and they will, the change will start from Uttar Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh will give a big jolt to the BJP also.
Well, before I let you go, Dipendra Hooda, we've seen you going to Lakhimpur Kheri and Uttar Pradesh, various areas with Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. But where is Rahul Gandhi?
No, like I said, Rahul ji has been on forefront of this fight for the farmers from the very beginning. From the tractor yatra in Punjab and Haryana, when this agitation just started, to bringing this issue to the parliament, driving a tractor, we were all part of that also, to going to Jantar Mantar, the Kisan Panchayat, to listen to the farmers, to raising it effectively within the parliament and outside it. Rahul ji has, from the day one, supported the cause of the farmers as strongly as anyone else can possibly do. And I think the farming community realizes that, and he has been very much there. It's a different matter how much you choose to recognize that or not, but he has been there.
Dipendra Hooda, many bright lights from the Congress party have either left, or some bright lights have formed a G23. I want to ask you, should there be a full-time president of the Congress party? Will the Congress party fare better with the electorate if it had a united front and a functioning president who takes charge of every corner of the country?
The Congress party is very ably and compassionately being led by Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji, and a full-scale election schedule has been announced. With we are under the process of membership right now, so I'm sure in days to come the congressmen and congresswomen will elect. We will elect our own president, who will continue to give leadership to the main opposition party in the country effectively.
Well,
And we
Dipendra,
thank you for your consistent concern for that.
absolutely.
Thank you for your consistent concern on the health of the Congress party.
Well, I don't mind. So long as I get to speak to all of you, you taking pot shots at me is most welcome. But I want I want to only say one thing, कि एक थी बीजेपी जो कहती थी मंदिर वही बनाएंगे, तारीख नहीं बताएंगे, और अब एक है कांग्रेस जो कहती है प्रेसिडेंट हम बनाएंगे, तारीख नहीं बताएंगे.
तो अब तो शेड्यूल और तारीख भी आ गई है. प्रेसिडेंट हमारे हैं, सोनिया जी हमारी कांग्रेस की प्रेसिडेंट हैं, और वो पूरी तरीके से कांग्रेस को एक कंपैशनेट और एक इफेक्टिव लीडरशिप दे रही हैं. तो हमें गर्व है हमारी कांग्रेस की अध्यक्षा पर, और जो हमारी जो चुनाव की प्रक्रिया है वो पारदर्शिता से लोगों के सामने हमने रखी है. हम उम्मीद करते हैं बाकी पार्टियां भी उसी पारदर्शिता से अपने अंदर कि लोकतांत्रिक प्रक्रियाओं को
नहीं,
लोगों
नहीं,
के
आपकी
सामने रखें।
पारदर्शिता तो सबको पता है, क्योंकि कई सेंचुरीज से हमें पता है कि गांधी के बाद गांधी ही होगा कोई। तो पारदर्शिता तो बहुत है, दैट आई मस्ट कॉम्प्लीमेंट यू ऑन। वेल, आर वी गोइंग टू बी सीइंग द एंड ऑफ द फार्मर्स प्रोटेस्ट, या पिक्चर अभी बाकी है?
देखिए, नहीं, अभी मुख्य मुद्दा था ये, और आज जैसे मैंने कहा कि बहुत माहौल था, लोग आपस में, हम लोग गले मिल रहे थे एक दूसरे के, और लोगों की आंखों में पानी भी था, और होठों पे मुस्कान भी थी, खुशी भी थी। और इतने लोगों की अपने साथियों को खोया है, तो इतना बड़ा जो संघर्ष था, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि एक बहुत बड़ा ये आज ऐतिहासिक दिन है। उस लिहाज से, उस दृष्टि से आंदोलन का क्या ये आगे रूप रहेगा, क्योंकि इनकी जो एक किसानों की एक हमारी दूसरी मांग है, वो है कि लाभकारी मूल्य एमएसपी निर्धारित की जाए, और उसको उस पूरे सिस्टम को पूरे देश में किसानों की जीवन शैली को सुधारने के लिए ये भी इस बात पे सरकार कोई ना कोई बड़ा फैसला करे। तो उसकी क्या रूपरेखा आने वाले समय में रहेगी, ये किसान मोर्चा जो है उसकी इफेक्टिव लीडरशिप है, वो अपना जो है मैं समझता हूँ कि वो लोग मंथन करेंगे। लेकिन आज का दिन किसानों के दिल में बहुत खुशी है, आज बहुत संतुष्टि है, और आज एक भावनात्मक दिन है सभी किसानों के।
Well, thank you very much, Dipendra Hooda, young Congress leader, member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha. Thank you very much for joining me right after
Thank you.
the repeal of
My
the fund.
pleasure. Thank you. My pleasure.